Hi, I'm Jason Bowdach for Digital Anarchy, and welcome to this tutorial on digital retouching using Beautybox. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can use Beautybox to successfully add a little bit of pop to skin that's not looking 100% in an otherwise great looking shot, whether it's due to makeup that was a little bit off on set or other conditions, usually extremely high resolution cameras that are capturing significantly more detail than we're used to seeing. Now, it should be mentioned that anytime you're doing digital retouching of any kind, you should try and lean towards natural images, meaning images that you could possibly see in real life if they were captured in their ideal setting with makeup properly applied on set, should everybody have time to do their jobs. Unfortunately, in this day and age, not everybody gets to do that, and this is where Beautybox comes in and literally is a shot saver. It's also worth mentioning that while this demo is in Adobe Premiere Pro, Beautybox is available in After Effects, Final Cut 10, and OFX capable applications such as Resolve. Now let's jump in and polish some skin tone. This actor is looking a little bit yellow, and we have a little bit of clipping and overexposure in the nose. And in color correction, we were not able to restore any data there, and it's a little bit jarring. So let's see what we can do. We're going to go ahead and drag Beautybox from the effects control panel right onto our clip. The first thing we're going to do is scroll down and click Analyze Frame. And what this is going to do is tell Beautybox to use its algorithms to look for skin tone within the image. And we can see what it found using the Show Mask button right here. Now, looking at the image, any areas that are highlighted in white are areas that Beautybox feels are skin tone, and any areas that are black or leaning towards gray are areas that it feels are not skin tone or leaning away from skin tone. Now, as we can see, it feels that a lot of these leaves back here are actually a little bit skin tone or skin tone like in color. And that's going to cause us a little problem if we adjust the skin, because we don't want to adjust back here, but we'll fix that in one moment. Using the hue, saturation, and value range, we can attempt to tighten up the mask a little bit, but that's a little bit of an improvement. Go ahead and set smoothing amount to 0 and skin detail smoothing amount to 0. And you'll see that this has completely zeroed out the smoothing effects of the filter. Now, if you go ahead and zoom in and find a good spot on the skin where you have some detail, I see pores right there, we can go ahead and adjust these two controls to taste. Now, smoothing amount, if I go ahead and adjust this all the way to 100, you can see is a general smooth. And it's going to literally reduce all types of detail, including, as you see, there's a glass shadow right here that it's completely actually removing when we pump it up to 200. You want to be careful how much we add here. I'm going to go ahead and see if we move that to 15, what that adds. Bring it down to 10, go back and forth. Okay, that's a little bit of smoothing. Now, the skin detail smoothing is a more fine and precise control. If you notice, we actually have a negative and a positive amount. If we go positive, we're doing actual smoothing of those detail in the skin. We can't actually see those pores anymore. They're becoming just one blob right there. Or if we go in the negative direction, we're actually doing a sharpening effect. And if you do, you want to do it very lightly. So I'm going to drag this because I do want a smoothing aspect to the detail just to about 5. And you can see we have a huge improvement right there. What I don't like is this little reduction in contrast. And it can be seen as almost a halo sometimes, right around areas of major detail, right over there. And that's what this contrast enhanced control is. If I drag this to 0, you see that we just lost a lot of separation in his face right there. And if I drag this up to 100, we get a lot of his eye socket, that glasses shadow, a lot of what defines his face back. So this helps counter what this smoothing is doing, or the negative aspects of that. So I usually leave this fairly high up. It starts off at 25, but you can adjust this to taste, and I usually like it either 75 or close to 100. Take a look at it from the large perspective. One of the most important things about any type of digital retouching is that you always keep in mind how the image is looking from the big picture. Now going down the list, we have preserve small details, which starts off at 75%. Now this is a great setting to start off at. Again, you can pump this up a little bit more if you want to keep more of those details, or you can reduce those. This is going to help keep some of those pores if you want to keep them in there, or some of that fine detail that is defining those facial qualities if they're becoming a little bit mushy or blobby as you saw earlier. So I'm going to leave this at 75. Down here we have shine removal. Right here on his nose, although it's not necessarily shine, it has the same effect of shine, which is blowing out or clipping of our video. We're going to see what we can do with our shine removal. And as I drag this up, I'm going to drag it up to 100 and see what the effect is. We've effectively blended that entire clipping with the rest of his nose. Now going back to 0 again, it's also unfortunately having some effect of his shirt, and we're losing some contrast in his face overall. So you do want to be careful using this, but to get rid of unsightly things like this clipping in his nose, this is a fantastic control to use. I'm going to set this to about 56. Again, I'm going to turn the control off and then on, and you can see, although there is no data in here and we're never going to get that back, and it's attracting my attention a lot less. Next, we have sharpen. Because the skin smoothing has an effect of course, smoothing things out, here's where you can add a little bit of sharpening back if you want to add a little bit of a punch or focus to the image. You can choose to use the mask that we had defined over here, or to apply it to the entire image. Turn off show mask. Now color correction. Again, we have the use mask, and because we're using color correction and we're using color correction on the face, we're gonna go ahead and check use mask. Now in here, we can actually control the skin's hue, we can adjust the saturation and the brightness. Now, as I continue to look at this, it's looking a little bit strong for me. I'm gonna go up and reduce this smoothing amount down to 10 and skin detail down to 5. Now I'm gonna go back and let's watch the whole clip. That was before. All the information is pretty much there aside from the nose. It's just a little bit overexposed and it's a little bit distracting. If we go in and enable Beauty Box, we were able to smooth that in, apply a little bit more of that skin look, and restore some of his pore detail. I hope this was a good look at the Beauty Box plugin and the amount of power and control you have over your images using it. I've been Jason Bowdach. I will see you next time.